What's going on, everybody? Top 10 Pokemon back, and boy, I got a fiery top 10 video for you all today. As I'm sure you've heard, there is a new base set Charizard reprint coming this fall, and I've seen some mixed feelings from the community about it. I myself have some mixed feelings. So stay tuned till the end of the video where I will explain my opinion about these base set reprints, but I thought it would be appropriate today to do a top 10 most expensive base set and base set reprint Charizard cards that have sold most recently. Now, just a couple of things to say before we get into this video. This is going to be base set and base set art only, and we're also going to only include English and Japanese cards. We're not going to include any other languages, but I will mention some of them towards the end of the video. And this will also have no signed cards or error cards, and it'll be the most recent sale of each particular card that I could find in auction. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it more than you know. Please give the video a like, and please be a subscriber if you're not already. Mucho gracias. As you can tell from behind me, I'm a big fan of the base set Charizard, so without further ado, let's get into this top 10 list, starting off with the number 10 most expensive base set artwork, and that is the base 2 holographic Charizard. That has sold most recently as a PSA 10 for $6,600. I've always thought the base 2 Charizard was kind of a step up in a couple of ways from the original base set Charizard. For one thing, I've always thought the holo pattern on the base 2 Charizard was better than the original. Not to mention, the PSA 10 population for this card is significantly lower, especially compared to base set Unlimited, which has a staggering amount in the pop report. So I've always thought this Charizard was kind of underrated. What do you think? Regardless of how you feel about that pesky 2 on the side of the card, this is the number 10 most expensive sale that I could find. Coming in at number 9 is a modern Charizard card. It is the Evolution's pre-release Staff Charizard Holo that most recently sold in auction as a PSA 10 for $7,800. Pretty much all of the base set Charizard arts from Evolution set are fairly expensive. Whether it's the regular holo, the pre-release, or this here Staff pre-release version, it always commands a premium. This is the number 9 most expensive on the list. Coming in at number 8, I was kind of hesitant about putting this one on the list, but it is technically a base set Charizard reprint, even though it was kind of redesigned a little bit. It is the Stormfront Charizard Holo that most recently sold as a PSA 10 for $8,100. So this is kind of a modernized version, but it's still the base set concept. So I put it on the list as the number 8 most expensive. Coming at number 7 is the tried and true Unlimited base set Charizard that most recently sold as a PSA 10 via PWCC auction for $9,300. This one right here, folks, is probably the most heavily populated Charizard on the list in both PSA 10 and below. There's just a staggering amount in the pop report for this card, but it's an iconic card, folks. It's a classic. It's the one we all had growing up. When you were trying to rip your base set booster pack, it was usually an unlimited pack, so yeah, probably the most popular one, the number 7 most expensive today. Coming in number 6 is a reverse holo Charizard. This is the Legendary Collection reverse holo that in PSA 10 has sold in auction for $10,200. This is the very first reverse holo Charizard ever. I remember back in the day when kids got this card or first saw this card, they didn't think it was real because of that firework power, and it kind of looked like a custom Pokemon card like you'd see today, but it was very much real, and it is very much a premium to get it today. It's the number 6 on the list. Coming in number 5 is yet another legendary Charizard. This one is the regular holographic version from the set that in PSA 10 has most recently sold for $24,000. This is also one of the lowest pop base set Charizard reprints that you can get your hands on. I will put up on the screen here exactly how many's in their pop report. It's not very much. You don't see this card come by very often in auction, so that's why it's the number 5 most expensive. Coming in at number 4 is actually a fairly modern Charizard reprint. It is the 25th anniversary corporate history card that in CGC 10 condition sold for $33,600. This was a very scarce card, folks, only handed out to particular individuals, which is why it is so expensive and so tough to get yourself a graded copy. This is the number 4 most expensive sale on our list today. Getting down to the final 3, our third most expensive Charizard is the Shadowless PSA 10 base set Zard that has sold most recently via Heritage Auctions for $72,000 large. This is another fairly low population card considering how old it is. Very tough to grade. number 3 most expensive overall. The number 2 most expensive might come to you as a surprise. It is the first edition base set Charizard that, in PSA 10, used to sell for $420,000. At one point, this card was selling for that much. But I had to go by the most recent sale, which was via Heritage Auctions for $162,000. So yeah, wouldn't want to be the person who bought this card for $420,000 and then you see it sell nowadays for hundreds of thousands of dollars less. This first edition base set Charizard is the number 2 most expensive on our list. Now, as I said at the beginning of the video, we're going to cover just a couple of honorable mention cards, which include cards in other languages. Here is a first edition Korean base set Charizard that sold as a PSA 10 for $20,101. Then we also saw a first edition French Charizard from base set sell as a CGC 10 for $21,600. And then here we saw a first edition Glurak, or the German base set Charizard, sell as a PSA 10 for $36,000. And then we also have to mention the Celebrations Ultra Premium Collection Metal Charizard card that has been flooding the market with CGC copies ever since CGC started grading them again. This has sold most recently as a CGC 10 for $3,176. Which brings me to the number 1 most expensive base set Charizard art, and it is the Japanese no symbol holographic Charizard that sold most recently as a PSA 10 via Heritage Auctions for $264,000. And what is truly crazy about this particular copy, folks, is that in 2018, this card sold as a PSA 10 for $20,600. And then, just 4 years later, sold for $264,000. So that is quite the return on your investment, folks, for this particular Zard. So I think the number 1 thing that irritates me the most about these base set reprints is not the fact that they're reprinting base set. I mean, I always love to see base set, but you're neglecting other sets and other Pokemon and other specific cards that could use some love as well. You have amazing sets like Team Rocket, Jungle, and Fossil that never get reprinted, and the Neo series, all the things you could do with the Shining cards from there. It's just like they're neglecting all these other amazing cards in lieu of just reprinting base set constantly. I don't know, what are your thoughts about all this? Let me know in the comments. I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much for watching and for your support. I appreciate it so much. Leave a comment, let me know what you thought of this list. That's all I got for you, folks. Thanks again, and I will catch you in my next one.